Ever wonder how battleships, cruisers, carriers, and destroyers team up to hunt down submarines in 2025 in World of Warships? Well, in this video, you'll learn how each ship class counters sub-threats using the latest ASW changes, tactics, and strategies. Let's get into it. Hey Captains, welcome back to the channel. Today we're putting an end to the fear, frustration, and salt surrounding submarines in World of Warships. I know many of you, especially longtime players and some CCs, just outright refuse to touch subs even with a 10-foot pole. I get it. For a while, they felt, unbalanced, uncounterable, and downright annoying. I have produced videos on this channel to say exactly the same thing. They were OP and busted. Well, they've been nerfed and they've been fixed. But here in 2025, things have changed. They've pretty much mellowed out, and shotgunning's back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to counter and kill submarines dead, no matter what surface ship you're playing. Whether you're in a battleship, a cruiser, destroyer, or aircraft carrier, you have the tools, you just need to use them the right way. And of course, with nerfs from patch 13.1 and 13.2, the apocalypse of sub-nerfing, subs are no longer the underwater assassins they once were. Let's start with those changes because they're the game changer. The submarine nerfs are introduced in patches 13.1 and 13.2, changed the entire sub versus surface meta, and it was in your favor, the surface people. So let's break it down. So first off, there's no more shotgun dominance per se. Submarine torpedoes now arm a bit low, a bit slower, and of course you can see them from farther away. That means the iconic shotgun attack that you'd be at periscope depth and you'd be just outside of 2 kilometers so you wouldn't get mutual detection and nuke you is no longer guaranteed kill. That's gone. Shotgunning now is about 3.5 to 4.5 kilometers away, still at periscope depth, but you have to be further away and you're going to see the torpedoes. And with captain skills like I showed you last week with vigilance, you can actually see torpedoes at 2.5 kilometers. On German battleships, for instance, that's like having a 2.5 kilometer hydro permanently. You're going to be able to dodge most attacks if that happens to you. Now, the 3 kilometer anti-torpedo bubble, here's the big one. If a submarine launches torps within 3 kilometers, they only deal 10% of their normal damage. That's a massive drop in lethality. If you're a battleship, so if you're the side of a battleship and you have good torpedo protection, they might get you with maybe 2,500 damage on 6 torpedoes. That's with the non-homing ones too. It just kills it. And the homing ones, forget it. It's a joke. So for me, charging a submarine in any surface ship effectively nerfs its damage and almost reduces it to nothing. It's just an annoying little mosquito at this point. And now don't worry, your ship can't get detonated anymore. That risk is flat out gone. And yes, I've seen one torpedo from a submarine detonate a full health Yamato. I did it to one. So the fear of exploding instantly from a single submarine salvo, it's just not part of the game anymore. That's nothing to be worried about. So that's another buff to all your ships against submarines. Charging a submarine is no longer a mistake. I've been saying it since for years, especially if you're a destroyer or cruiser. It's a counter strategy. Get inside 3 kilometers and their torpedoes become useless. And they're going to die. Most submarine players at this point are going to panic. Especially if they come to periscope depth and they see a destroyer or destroyer sees them. It's all over but the crying. So take advantage of that. Remember, they're just human like you, so charge at them. I'd be the first one to admit, before the patches, battleships were once helpless against submarines. I made tons of sarcastic videos about, hey, I'm sure in this battleship player's having a good game, when I'm shotgunning him at 2.5 kilometers out with non-homing torpedoes and I'm ending their game. It was a meme at one point and I totally agree, but not anymore in 2025. You've got the tools to fight back. Most battleships now come with ASW strikes, which allows you to drop depth charges from above at about 8 to 10 kilometers. These airstrikes reload quickly and can be used even if you can't see the sub, as long as it was recently in that area or spotted. So how to use them properly? Well, wait for a sub to surface and get spotted, or ping, especially when your DD spots them. Lead your airstrikes slightly ahead of where they're going. Watch for movement cues. Subs slow down when diving or surfacing or turning. As well, look for oil slicks in the water. Let them get 2 or 3 oil slicks and they'll give you a pattern exactly where they're heading. Now, positioning team play, don't sail alone. Use your tankiness to push with your team, especially cruisers or DDs with hydro or sub surveillance. That's right, Italian and Japanese cruisers, most of them have sub surveillance. If you're baiting a sub to fire, angle your ship and dodge. Then drop the airstrike when they reposition. Now, I've made videos on this channel starting last year of how to actually beat submarines, including battleships. You can, if you're in a battleship, dodge torpedoes. You can go back and find that video if you want and watch it. All you have to do is sit there and watch the torpedoes come in, give it bow on with a little bit off, so that way it's going to angle and go not for your bow, but for the back or the stern of your ship, wherever the ping is, hopefully. Then you just maneuver. If it's coming to the left-hand side, you turn to the right. It'll just get away. That's how it works. Torpedoes stop tracking battleships, I believe, at 1.4 kilometers. So once you're at 1.4 kilometers, that's it. And don't forget about the skills. Most of the submarine torpedoes you're going to see at 1.7 to 1.8 kilometers from submarines. You have time, but pay attention. Battleship captains, don't just soak damage. Time your airstrikes, lead the sub, and remind them who's boss from above. Now, let's talk about cruisers, the Swiss Army knives for sub hunting. Some cruisers like the Zhao and Napoli have airdrop depth charges, while others like the Edinburgh or Goliath have stern-launched depth charges. Always check your ship's loadout before you head onto battle. You don't want to be surprised. And other ships like, I believe it's the Holland and the Pan-European, they actually have depth charge rockets or hedgehogs that fire from the front. They don't actually fire from the side or from the stern. Get to know them. If you have to, take them in the training room and go hunt some subs for fun. Just tell you don't want the sub to actually be able to shoot you, and then go kill it. Now, submarine surveillance is key. Many cruisers that are in the Italian and Japanese line, like I just said, are equipped with submarine surveillance, which reveals submerged subs out to 6 to 8 kilometers. Even if they're in deep water all the way down, they get completely spotted. It works through terrain, giving you precious intel. Try to see if you can spec that out with your submarine, with your ship, to get it to last longer. And make sure you use the F3 key. Hey people, there's a submarine, we're spotting them, F3. You saw that in Pangu Star's video that she put out? U451 came up, got spotted by her submarine surveillance, 15 seconds later it was dead. Gone. Now, how to kill a sub with a cruiser? Use sub surveillance to light them up. Launch ASW strikes immediately after spotting them. Combine with friendly DDs or a CV for full aerial denial. Kill it. Cruiser and battleship players, remember, we've all had games, we've seen it, where the team is just, you spotted a submarine, you F3 key it, and no one attacks it. I've seen that, and I'll tell you at this point, the submarine player is not the problem. You, the battleship cruiser player, you're the problem. If you get the opportunity, airstrike. Even if I have seen Lord of Boo, I think his name is, and other CCs just drop depth charges for the sake of dropping depth charges. They have no, submarine has been spotted, and all of a sudden, boom, kill. You know, I've seen people, really good players in battleships and in cruisers, just start dropping. They think there's something in that general area. You know that if I'm in a submarine or your player's in a submarine, your friendly submarine, the other submarine's typically right in front of that submarine. So they usually spar off against each other. Just think of that. The sooner you kill a submarine, better. Then you can start working on the DDs, because those two classes are the most dangerous in this game. Cruiser players, your job is recon and retaliation. Use your surveillance, then strike. You're the heartbeat of sub denial. Carriers aren't meant to kill subs directly, but they are a crucial part of the sub hunting. Now, we all know that submarines must surface or go to periscope depth to recharge or fire torps. When they do, as a CV player, when you spot them, drop a fighter plane right over them instantaneously. The fighter keeps them lit up for almost 60 seconds, long enough for battleships and cruisers and destroyers to strike and take it out. That's usually a pretty good skill set for aircraft carriers and carrier players to do. It really does help your team. Now, if a submarine surfaces or it's at periscope depth, you can use your rocket planes or you can use your dive bombers to get some damage in. It won't be game ending, but it forces the sub back underwater or deep where it can't really do what it's supposed to do. Use your map awareness to track sub positions. That's very important, especially if you see a submarine get behind you to your actual spawn area. That means the submarine's hunting you. Let's make no mistake, CV players. If you're still in spawn and it's 10 minutes in the game, you're not paying attention to the mini-map, alright? So watch out for that, because that's the easiest way to get yourself dead with a submarine. Or, which I love doing, the British line, I'll spot the CV. It doesn't know where I am, I won't ping, I won't shoot torpedoes. And of course, all my friends in the BB world are going to actually shoot you and just blow you to pieces. I've had more of my fair share of enemy CV players swear at me in chat or swear at their team for not coming back to kill me. Now remember to spot early and often, especially in high traffic flank zones. If someone's using a submarine correctly, they're going to be in the flanks, not up the middle. If they're going up the middle, don't worry about it. It's going to die anyway. CVs, you are the eye in the sky. Don't waste time hunting. Just light them up and let your team do the dirty work. In this game, I am a DD main, not a submarine main. I am what you call a destroyer driver. That was my time. I worked in destroyers in the Royal Canadian Navy. And in this game, destroyers are, and always will be, the apex predator submarines. DDs carry rear-mounted depth charges, some in the front. They can absolutely melt a sub in seconds. Most of the time, in your 2 sets of drops, you're going to kill a submarine outright if you do it correctly. Many also come with hydroacoustic search, letting you hear subs even when they're deep. If you have your hydroacoustic on and you're at 2 kilometer distance at the very bottom, 60 meters, you're going to pick up the sub. Sub are going to die. Now, use your hydro to locate subs hiding in cap zones or near rocks. If you see a ping or see a detection with no surface ship, close in fast. Especially if they have only a light amount of protection. You can tell if a submarine is getting protected or not in a game. It's pretty easy to do. Once you're above them, let the depth charges fly in a tight turning circle, or do what I said, the Williamson turn, and just come back and do it again. Thanks to that 3 kilometer torp damage nerf in those patches, you can safely charge in with no fear of getting nuked. And with your small profile and agility, you'll dodge most torpedoes anyway. And for that actual 3 kilometers, Apollo Milo can be almost 8 kilometers away and make it in time and not take any damage. Destroyer drivers, if you hear a sub, hunt it. You're faster, deadlier, and now far safer than ever. Captains, the sub meta had to change, and it did. Now, you don't have to play submarines to beat them. It does help, I will stress that, if you actually understand submarines better. You just need to understand how each ship counters them, and they are different. Battleships, you need to drop crushing airstrikes. If you see a sub or some reports of subs or pushes the F3 key, drop what you're doing, do a quick airstrike. Don't just leave it. If it's in range, drop it. Cruisers combine intel and fast ASW strikes. Cruisers, you are the heart of ASW. You have the ability to get in close and just keep pulming a submarine with airdrops. Carriers, spot and track from above. Help your team out. If you see a sub, hit a fighter up. It's going to be spotted for 60 seconds, or you're going to drive it deep. Either way, it should get airdropped. Destroyers, hunt, flush, and finish. Rinse and repeat. And with that 3 kilometer anti-torpedo nerf, you're safer than ever when closing the gap. If you've been avoiding subs like the plague, it's time to turn that hate into power. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which ship do you use to kill submarines the most. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, stay safe, wish you all the best. Bye for now.